What's going on, y'all? Honky Tonk Tuesday here, back after a little 2-week break. Hope y'all are doing well. This is a very special show today. Not only do we have all of our friends at People Country Facebook taking over, we also got one of my country music heroes, a guy that one of the most talented, best guitarist, vocalist, just one of the all around best. Joining us today, an icon in country music, and a guy that I've been fortunate enough to call my friend, and the only guy who has music out there that there is video of me. I think y'all probably could hear me now. There is video of me singing his songs in my underwear as a child. So let's see here. I'm gonna start this off. Hope everybody's had a good couple weeks. I know everything's been crazy around, but I'm glad that we're all here together to celebrate life and country music, and hopefully have some good times with your friends wherever y'all are at, your family. I see a lot of people hitting us up. Let me know where you're watching from. I see some people from Georgia, Florida, Umatilla, what's up? Boston, Texas. Well, I'm gonna do this. I haven't done this song in such a long time. I used to play this song with my grandfather back at the Cassia Community Center. And it was one of my grandma's favorites, one of my favorite songs, and one that Uncle T, what's up? One of my favorites that I haven't played in a long time. And with everything going on, I went to research a lot of music, a lot of African American country artists, and one of my all-time favorites was Mr. Charlie Pratt. So I'm gonna start this whole Honky Tonk Tuesday off with my buddy Mr. Charlie Pratt. Whenever I get a chance to meet an old friend on the street, I wonder how does a man get to be this way? Always got a smiling face, anytime and any place. And when they ask me why, I just smile and say, you got to kiss an angel good morning, let her know you think about her when you're gone. Kiss an angel good morning, love her like the devil when you get back home. Yeah. Well, people always try to guess the secret of happiness, but some of them never learn that it's a simple thing. The secret they're speaking of is a woman and a man in love. The answer is in this song that I always sing. You got to kiss an angel good morning, let her know you think about her when you're gone. Kiss an angel good morning, let her know you think about her when you're gone. Kiss an angel good morning, let her know you think about her when you're gone. Kiss an angel good morning, and love her like the devil when you get back home. Hey, tune this thing a little bit. Awesome. How's everybody doing? We got Ohio, we got Utah, we got Arkansas. What's up, West Virginia, Tennessee? So I'm feeling good, y'all. I'm feeling good because for the first time, it leaked out my guest. This never happened before. Normally, I try to surprise you guys because I'm a country fan first. And I want to be able to surprise you guys. And you don't know who's about to pop up in your kitchen or your living room or your car or wherever you're going to be watching. Well, I feel like Honky Tonk Tuesdays reached a new height and it got leaked. So if y'all got any questions for my buddy, Mr. Clint Black, y'all hit me up, let me know. I'm going to do one more song and get him on here. Hope everybody's doing good, Nevada. Got people watching from right down the road, Mount Juliet. Awesome. Well, I was going through some songs trying to figure out what to do, and one of my favorite songs by an artist named Doug Stone is "Better Off in a Pine Box," and I don't do that song a lot, frankly, because it's pretty hard. But I got to talk to Doug last week on FaceTime, and just got me thinking of him, and I was giving Doug Stone. I always said that Sunday nothing worse could ever happen. But seeing you with someone else proved that I was wrong. And when your eyes met mine, I knew you were gone forever. Along with all the reason I had for hanging on. Oh, I'd be better off in a pine box on a soul train bound to Georgia, or the gray walls of a prison doing time. Think I'd rather die, go to hell, face the devil, than to lie here with you and him together on my mind. I always thought that someday we might get back together. I just thought you needed time to spread your wings and fly. But when I saw the love and way you held on to each other, it was all that I could do not to break right down and cry. Oh, I'd be better off in a pine box on a soul train bound for Georgia, or the gray walls of a prison doing time. Think I'd rather die, go to hell, face the devil, than to lie here with you and him together on my mind. Oh, I'd be better off in a pine box on a soul train bound for Georgia, with the gray walls of a prison doing time. Think I'd rather die, go to hell, face the devil, than to lie here with you and him together on my mind. Can't lie here with you and him together on my mind. Little Doug Stone, wherever y'all are watching. Listen, here on Honky Tonk Tuesday, it's your job to keep the beers cold because it's at your house. It's my job to keep the music hot, and it's coming in right now. Y'all, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Seriously, one of my heroes in country music, the fact that I get to be friends with somebody that painted my career, made my love of country music. I remember riding along in my dad's truck listening to, I ain't going to age him, but the cassettes back in the day. And he truly was one of my first artists that I remember just going, what is that? And how can I be a part and do what that guy's doing? One of the most talented guys I've ever met. Honky Tonk Tuesday. Welcome, country music icon, Mr. Clint Black. Come on, buddy. Let me see. Let me get you on here.
There I am.
Hey, there he is.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good, buddy. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm thinking, listening to that introduction, and then it gets to that. What's that? I'm thinking, hey, wait a minute.
Man, how you been doing?
I'm good. Good to hear these old songs. You know, some Charlie Pride, Kiss an Angel, Good Morning. It makes me think of my dad when I was young, and he'd go, here's an old song you should learn. And, Webb Pierce, of course, for his generation, he was going back to his time.
Right.
You're going back to, the stuff when I was really cutting my teeth on country music. And, it was a great time for music.
Was your dad GA? Did he play?
He did not. He had no talent for music, but he loved country music and was fiercely loyal to it. And he was worried about it, for a while there with all the strings and the pop stuff. He was a real traditionalist. I mean, to my dad, Alabama was, going to ruin country.
No.
And, you look back now and you think just how country Alabama is.
Right.
But for him and his time, it was kind of a move, toward the pop. He got over that and started loving them. And of course, with songs like Old Flame and one you sang at that St. Jude thing we did, which had us all
Lady Down on Love.
She's Lady Down on Love. We were dying.
I'll never forget that moment.
Pulled that thing out. It was a great moment. Randy was crying over there. He was moved to tears. It was quite a moment.
I always tell everybody we talk about that moment quite a bit. For anybody watching that doesn't know, I was able to where Clint and I actually met at was at this event for St. Jude, and it was myself, Clint, Jake Owen, and Randy Owen from Alabama, and we were sitting on stage, and it was one of the coolest moments because I have truly been a fan and covered Jake Owen, Clint Black, and Alabama songs throughout. Grown up playing bars in Florida and stuff, and always been a big fan. So for me, it was this big moment of wow, I get to be on here with friends of mine and guys I grew up listening to. And Clint, you and I have talked about this. I always feel like
you sound so young. I'm not getting this thing.
Hey, listen, this gray hairs don't lie, man. These gray hairs don't lie. Don't call me out, man. But we were able to Randy said something about people might not be listening to a lot of the songs that Alabama had now. And I just wanted him to know and you to know that, like, y'all are the purpose of guys like why Jake Owen, myself, other guys picked up a guitar and moved to Nashville was because of songs like Killing Time and songs like Lady Down on Love for Alabama. And so I kind of just pulled it out and I was just able to be a part of a moment. It was way bigger than us. It was one of those things that only music can bring in, and it was all for a great cause. So it was definitely a great thing
you did because we were there to honor Randy. Randy was being honored for all of his work with Country Cares, and for you to pull one of his out was perfect. I hadn't thought of it, and there's so many, but that was just such a great song and so great for the moment. Boy, it was perfect. And I appreciate you saying all that stuff about us influencing you and all of that, because I have my own influences. And for what their music meant to me, if I meant half that to you, then I'm getting a bigger hat tomorrow.
Oh, buddy, you need to get a couple sizes, man. You need a couple sizes.
That's why I wear black, because it keeps making my head look thinner.
No stripes, right? No stripes. Well, man, what do you got to play for us, man? What do you got? What are you going to kick it off with?
I was really torn. We were talking earlier, and
22 number ones. There's a lot to pick from.
It's a good problem to have. Is what I don't know which one to play. I'm
trying to get that problem.
Yeah, you're getting it. I was thinking. I was going to stick with my songs, and then you were singing some of those great cover songs. And I started thinking, maybe I should do one too, somebody who influenced me. And so maybe I'll do that in the spirit of Honky Tonk Tuesday. I'll go back to my own influences. Let me just figure out which key I'm in for this. And I don't know if we can sing together. There's a delay, right?
There's a little delay, yeah, but I'll be I'll put my mic on mute so I don't mess you up.
No, get in there if you can. If it doesn't sound like you're two bands over.
Yeah.
Drummer, and I want you in there. But I'm going to pull this out of my ear a little bit so I can hear more of this guitar. This is one I did on my Facebook Live a couple of weeks ago. considering everything that this country is going through, I thought it was a good message. This is someone, all of us grew up on country music, loved him. We called him the Gentle Giant. And he just had one of those voices that you go, how's he doing that? Do I need to get closer to the mic and sing? He had so much clarity. And, he really is. He really influences how he gets in my head sometimes when I'm trying to do a song of mine in the studio that's kind of in that Don Williams vein.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, man, he's just so smooth. And let's see if I can do him some justice. Put this thing in range. Lord, I hope this day is good. I'm feeling empty and misunderstood. I should be thankful, Lord, I know I should. But Lord, I hope this day is good. Lord, have you forgotten me? I've been praying to you faithfully. I'm not saying I'm a righteous man, but Lord, I hope you'll understand. I don't need fortune and I don't need fame. Send down your thunder, Lord, send down the rain. But when you're planning just how it will be, plan a good day for me. Lord, I hope this day is good. I'm feeling empty and misunderstood. I should be thankful, Lord, I know I should. But Lord, I hope this day is good. You've been the King since the dawn of time. All that I'm asking is a little less crying. It might be hard for the devil to do, but it would be easy for you. Lord, I hope this day is good. Everybody, I'm feeling empty and misunderstood. Put down that beer and sing. I should be thankful, Lord, I know I should. But Lord, I hope this day is good. Lord, I hope this day is good. And whatever's in my red Solo cup is good too.
Woo! Come on, man.
Oh, Don.
Come on. Did you ever do any shows with Don?
I was on one, but it was one of those so many acts on there and so many other things going on. I didn't get to see him, and but no, I didn't really get to hang with him. We were on one here in Nashville. It was crazy time, fanfare stage or a CMA Fest stage. I think it was fanfare, and it was craziness. But I got to see him a little, but I didn't get to hang out with him.
That's kind of like how Merle Haggard and we were on the same festival in Oregon, and my bus was passing this sign, and it had all these artists on that were playing this stage, and I saw Merle Haggard, and I told my tour manager, I said, listen, y'all know who you got to talk to. I'll take a pay cut, give the guy in front of us a few more minutes, but if Haggard's on the same time, I'm going to be over there. And he wasn't. He was on after us on that stage, and I got to stand far on the side and watch Merle Haggard. And that was the first and last time I got to see him.
You remember what year that was?
It would have been probably about 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
It was when I did my first headline tour in 1991. My manager called and he said, "How would you like to have Merle Haggard as a special guest on your tour?" And I said, "Well, that doesn't sound right." And he said, "Well, he wants to do it." And I said, "Well, that sounds right."
That sounds right.
So he was on. We did about 100 cities together, and every night we were all over there leaning on flight cases, hiding in the dark, watching him every night just do one after another that we all sang or played in the bars. And he was on. He was on. His band was on. We were playing for 10, 15, 20,000, seat venues. And he would stop by the bus on his way to the stage every night and hang out and talk and tell me things and share stories. And, it was pretty much, we wrote a couple of songs together.
You got to write with Haggard?
Yeah, I wrote.
No way.
Yeah. We started one song together that we didn't get to finish together, but Hayden and I finished it, and it was Haggard. We were in the dressing room, and he goes, "Here's something I've been working on," and he goes, "Last night I dreamed I was a kid again." And he looked, it was a little searching in his eyes. And I said, "All the things I used to do, I went and did again." And he goes, And then from there on, it was one we were working on together. But Hayden and I finished it up and turned it into a Christmas song for my Looking for Christmas album. And then, but there was another one where he was showing me, and it was God, I got that other song in my head now. This was actually a hit for me. "Well, I guess you're glad to see I'm finally leaving. I know things for you will change now for the good. That's all that I can do to pack my suitcase and walk away from you the way I should. But I can't seem to find the voice of reason. Everything seems upside down and right side wrong. While part of me is here and won't like leaving," my favorite line coming, "the rest of me, the best of me is gone. And I'm sure no one will wonder where I've gone to. But if anyone should ask from time to time, tell them that you finally drove me crazy, and I'm somewhere untangling my mind." So he had scraps and bits and pieces of that that he had kind of written, and he would just do a little bit of what he had, and I could tell it wasn't finished, and we hadn't worked on that other song yet. And I just took a bold leap and asked him if he wanted any help finishing that. I'd sure love to pitch in. And he said, "Oh, okay." And he wrote all the lyrics down that he had. One of my favorite lyrics he had before I got a hold of it was, oh boy, I'm just searching now that I'm put myself on the spot. "Well, tell him I won't be riding, I'll be walking, because I don't think a crazy man should drive. And anyway, the car belongs to you now." And I came up with, and along with any part of me that's still alive. So I went through and just kind of tried to complete the song. And he gave me a board tape that he made at one of the sound checks. So after we had that little meeting, about that in the dressing room, it was about 3 days later when he gave me, or his tour manager, I forget, handed me the lyrics and a cassette. And for all you kids out there, that's how we used to hear music. And so I went away and worked on it for about 3 days and passed it back along to him. Now, the board tape was about 30 minutes long, and he only had about parts of the first verse, parts of the chorus, parts of the second verse. So there, it wasn't 30 minutes worth, but he would be playing it and you'd hear techs working and guys tuning and him tuning, no, he was warming up his voice, and then he would just go right back into the song and play whatever he had, and pass that along. So I got this little priceless treasure on cassette.
You still have that?
I still have that.
That's unbelievable.
And, yeah, I have to digitize it very carefully.
Yeah.
And so I passed it back along, and about 3 days later, the band and I are sitting in the dressing room, and he comes in before he goes on, he and his tour manager, and he put the piece of paper down on the table of the lyrics that I'd written on, and I said, "What do you think?" And he said, "Well, I'd give it an A- because of one word." And I knew the word. I knew what word didn't belong. I just couldn't come up with what it needed in that spot. And I said, "Well, what would you have put?" And it looked like it caught him a little surprise. And he goes, "Oh, I don't know. Be leaving." I was like, God, they're not even hard words. It's not even like my dad would call a $5 word.
Yeah.
Be and leaving. And it was just perfect. It was the right thing, exactly what it needed. And it was just, that's why he's Merle Haggard. That's why he's the professor.
Blue collar poet, man. Doesn't get any better. So I know that you mentioned earlier about a Christmas record, but I also know that, first off, thank you for letting me be on the 30th anniversary of Killing Time.
Oh man, it's great to have you on there.
Awesome, man. It was that was such a big honor, and for anybody that hasn't gotten that yet, y'all pick it up. 30th anniversary, and we got to sing a song called "This Old House." Clint was kind enough to add me a part of a long list of artists that I never thought I'd be on the same recording on with, and then the video honoring the Opry. I know that was such a big thing for you, and This Old House was a song that you and Hayden wrote, right? That just didn't make it.
Yeah, it was in the pile when we were producing Killing Time. One of the studio tracks on Still Killing Time that's not live was No One Here For Me, and I wrote that before I met Hayden. And then when Hayden and I were writing Better Man and Killing Time and I'll Be Gone and all of those songs, I was writing Winding Down, everything that went on Killing Time. I was trying desperately to write more than I needed because I saw a Reba interview, or Reba doesn't write, so she was talking about listening and finding songs and how many she listens to come up with a good album of 10 songs. And I thought, man, I got to get to writing, because I wasn't prolific. Things had to happen to me for me to write songs, and so I had to change that. And Hayden and I really were setting out to write too many songs, and we did. And one of them was This Old House, and it was a waltz. It's a 3/4 time signature, and we already had Walking Away. And we weren't going to put two waltzes because everything we were doing was centered around Texas dance halls, and everything we were thinking, aside from writing good songs, was what can people dance to.
Right.
So we weren't going to have two waltzes. So This Old House got pushed out by Walking Away. And then the next album, it got pushed aside until I would end up with 30 songs written every time I would go in to cut. And so it just kept getting farther and farther down the list until it was never even considered for a long while, until the Still Killing Time 30th anniversary. I thought something from that era that actually could have been on that album, I should do. And then I recorded it and sang it and it was good. I was pleased, but I thought, man, what if I got everybody that I know, got a bunch of friends to each sing a line or two. And as soon as I thought of that, I thought of the Opry, and I thought this is speaking to that Opry family, not necessarily a physical house, but just that institution that we've all walked through, and so many have gone on to that great band in the sky. And as soon as I did, the song will never have any meaning to me again, and except for that connection. And knowing how much you love the Opry, I knew I had to try to get you on there, and so I started my wish list. I know I'm going on, but I had a pretty good sized wish list, and quickly people were agreeing to it. And then I went, whoa, I don't have enough lines in the song. And I
listen, when Clint Black calls you, you answer. So everybody was like, yeah, whatever he needs, I'm in.
You've always been that way. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you've been great. And I mean, it's humbling when you ask people to come and do some of their work for you, and it becomes a little bit of pressure. And I don't produce a lot of other acts. I produced a few, and when you get somebody on the other side of the mic, on the glass, and they're on the microphone, you want so much to make them comfortable. You did a great job. And you're in there with Trace Atkins and Travis Tritt and
Reba,
some of the people from the Honky Tonk Tuesday era.
Yeah.
And so once you guys all sang on it, the song, I went from being pleased with it to really being madly in love with this record, and it took on this weight. Just hearing all your voices, it brought so much more gravity to the meaning and the feel of the record. I can't even describe it. It's just fantastic.
It's funny how even 30 years later, I think a song still finds its right way and right time to come out when it's needed to be heard.
Yeah, if you have a good idea, there's a great Chinese proverb which goes, one way to have a great idea is to have a lot of ideas.
It's a great quote.
Yeah, and if you just keep looking for great ideas, every now and then you get lucky, like I did with this old house, and suddenly all of this talent is brought to bear on this old song from 33 years ago.
So would it be okay if as a fan, I know we got a lot of people asking, they're making requests, and we're talking about the record.
Well, I hope they know the difference between a suggestion and a request. It's about $50.
Okay. Just make that payable to Michael Ray. Just Venmo that to Michael Ray. I'll make sure Clint gets it. Don't worry about it.
That's how I got cash in the tip jar back in the bars.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
Man, what do you take us back to that Killing Time record? What's something from that album?
Well, I could do one of the deep cuts or one of the hits. Up to you.
I see Stephanie Golden says Killing Time. My oldest sister Ryan has called me out about my video. I was in my defense, I was 1 or 2 years old at the time. I wasn't an adult in a diaper. I was just a child that was singing with a little plastic guitar. Any of those? Yeah, let's do that. Let's do some Killing Time.
All right. You were the first thing that I thought of when I thought I drank you off my mind. When I get lost in the liquor, you're the only one I find. If I did things I oughta, you still would not be mine. So I keep a tight grip on the bottle, getting loose and killing time. Everybody now, this killing time is killing me. Drinking my myself blind, thinking I won't see that if I cross that line, they bury me. Well, I just might find I'll be killing time for eternity. Where's Hayden on the guitar now? You want to take some of this one here, Michael? I don't know nothing about tomorrow. I've been lost in yesterday. I spent all my life just dying for the love that passed away. If there's an end to all my sorrow, and this is the only price I'll pay, I'll be a happy man when I go, and I can't wait another day. And this killing time is killing me. Drinking myself blind, thinking I won't see that if I cross that line, they bury me. Well, I just might find I'll be killing time for eternity. I said I just might find I'll be killing time for eternity. It was there for me.
Woo! Come on, that's so great. I mean,
I was sitting in an office chair if I was going to be able to hit that highway.
hey. I just had to call my 8-year-old self and tell him that this shit was real. 20 years later.
I think I can relate on some level from all the good time, the good luck that I've had, with people who I was listening to before I started making records, and I kind of made a vow to myself that I would never place them so high on a pedestal that I couldn't be comfortable around them, because you can quickly just, stop having a good time because you're, worried about, having enough reverence for them, So I always treated them like a friend, and I would kid around and joke with them. I saw Christopherson in an airport. He didn't see me, but he was over at a different baggage carousel, and I just went over and got him by the arm. "Excuse me, sir, you're gonna have to come with me." He turns around like, so it was me, and so we had a laugh, and most of the people who do what we do like people, and don't want to be, up on some pedestal or anything. And every now and then you'll meet somebody that's not true of, and they don't appreciate it, whatever it is you're trying to do or joke around with. And it really stands out. Fortunately, that's rare.
It is in country music, because I'll tell you this, man. You've heard this the old saying of like, "Oh, don't meet your heroes." You don't ever be let down, and you've made me feel like a part of your family, man, since day one, and just really means a lot to me, and I cherish our friendship that we got, and honored to be a part of Killing Time, the 30th anniversary record. Now, I know just because I know you, but I don't know if everybody knows that just because people are in quarantine doesn't mean Clint Black is not writing, making records, making something happen. Anybody that knows Clint knows he's constantly creating or making something happen. And I know that you actually did the Opry the other day with Steve Warner, our buddy Steve, and we talked about, a song that you sent me and talked about your new album, Out of Sane. And I just want to talk about that because it comes out in a couple weeks, correct? Or
yeah, 10 days. 3 of the songs have come out as instant grat tracks. So Hellbent, we just debuted the lyric video for that, and My Best Thinking I wrote with Steve, and then America I wrote with Steve. It was actually, the album was finished and Steve came over to show me his new guitar, his Steve Warner model Gretsch. And told her this idea I had, and it was, I'm still in love with you in spite of all our ups and downs. We've gone our separate ways, but we've come back around. And so I didn't have a line there. And I was, and I'm still in love with you, America. And he went, oh, I thought it was a love song. I said, well, it is, And so he said, oh, I said, we've got to write that. And he said, yeah, we have to write that. And I said, well, what do you, and I just launched into making him help me write it. And we moved over in the kitchen, over to where my computer is, and started working on that one. And we were halfway through it, and I started texting musicians and my engineer to see if everybody was available. And we were cutting that song like 4 days later, and barely made the deadline to put it on this new album. So that one came out first, and there's a video for it, which is cool. I did tons and tons of research looking for great footage of Americana and historical stuff, the Statue of Liberty, and some soldiers. There's a soldier in there, Kyle Milliken, who is a friend of mine's a Navy SEAL, and Kyle was his best friend, a SEAL killed back in 2017. And I said, I called him up, my buddy Chris, and I said, Chris, I said, I need someone to bring the badass to this video. And he goes, well, and I said, what about Kyle? And he got a hold of Kyle's wife and asked her. She sent me some photos. And so there's a photo of him about 2 minutes in, holding up this American flag that he carried under his chest plate when he found out he was going to be a dad, and carried it with him on all his missions. And so we have a photo of him holding up that flag in there. And so now honoring him, by helping to raise money for the Kyle Milliken Foundation, which you can go to clintblack.com and find your way to. And it helps Gold Star families, anyone in the military communities having trouble. And so they broaden the reach from just helping Kyle's family. And it turned out to be, he brought quite a lot of badass to the video.
It's a great video, man. When you sent it to me and I got to see the video and hear it, I think it's a song that we're going to change a lot of people's lives. I think a lot of people need to hear this song, just in the state of the world right now. And the way that y'all approach it, man, as a writer, it's really well written. The video is that video with the Native American. I called you and was like, man, that clip, man, I don't know how you did, wherever you got that, man, it got me. And I think it's just a really just well done on your part, man. I mean, Clint did it all for everybody watching. He made the video, and him and Steve wrote it. And
I had a little help. My editor, Ben Boutwell, who had to do some pretty big tricks to make that video work, but it's pretty much homemade. And I really think it represents because I have friends from every walk of life. I have every kind of, you can imagine, coming from every point of view. And Steve and I really wanted this song to ring true for everyone, all our fans, and no matter what your political stripe is. And hopefully we did that so you can hear it and feel that love for your country without anyone telling you everything's perfect. That's the whole thing. We know this country isn't perfect. And anyway, it's coming out in 10 days.
10 days, and people can pre-order. I saw some fans already say that they've pre-ordered it already.
That enters you in a contest, so I'll do a Skype with a winner.
Hey, there you go.
20 or 30 of their friends, and we'll do this. Always get great questions if people who've listened to me their whole lives or since they were 10, and stuff. It'll be fun to see what kind of conversation we have.
It's awesome, man. It's been really cool. I see a lot of people writing, saying that they're excited for the new record. Out of Sane is the name of it. June 19th is coming out. A lot of people just saying how they grew up, like you said, grew up on your music, and you just truly painted so many people's lives and were such an inspiration to so many people, and you're just so talented. And you were speaking about Hayden. For anybody that doesn't know Hayden, Hayden's your lead guitar player, band leader, correct?
Yeah. And Hayden and I met. He was playing in a band I hired. He was filling in for the guitarist, and I saw him. He was the best guitar player I'd ever met. And I said, what do you do?
Big compliment coming from you, man.
Yeah, well, I was pretty young, but he's still one of the greatest guitar players I've ever met. So I recognized that right off, and he had an 8-track recorder in his garage, and I was trying desperately to make demos with no budget. So we started working on demos of songs. The first one was Nobody's Home. We demoed. I was trying to find a manager.
Wow.
And then we started writing together. So we wrote Better Man and Killing Time, half that first album and half my hits, more than half probably, of all the hit songs I've had. Hey, and we're still playing together on stage after we met in 1987.
That's so awesome, man.
Yeah.
Is there anything off the Out of Sane record we could get you to play for us?
I'd like to do something actually from the one just before that.
Hey, I'll take it.
Maybe that way we can drive everyone to go hear the new record.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, go.
It's all you, man. You can play a couple more. I'm not gonna say no.
I
had everybody's thinking I did this for all the fans. I actually did this one for me. I'm just inviting all them.
All right. Well, I don't want to be piggy or piggish or anything, but
hey, trust me.
I do like playing this one. This is one I wrote with Frank Rogers, a great songwriter, producer here in town.
I'm going to see Frank Wednesday. We got a pitch meeting Wednesday.
Are you now? Well,
yeah.
I wish I had a good insult for him. He's got a great sense of humor. So
he's great.
Here it is. Tell him I said the great thing about Frank is that he stays out of the way and lets me get all the work done.
I'll tell him. I'll tell him that we work a lot alike. I'll tell him.
Yeah. So this is one of a few songs we wrote from the On Purpose CD.
Okay.
And I created this little new intro piece that I do live. This thing in range. I'm looking to get one that mounts like braces, the harmonica, so it just stays there. Now I got to take this out. I've been better, I've been worse, I've been blessed and I've been cursed. Ain't dead last and I ain't in first. Not everything's gonna go my way. I've been better, I've been worse. I'm right on purpose and unrehearsed. Singing in the chorus when I need more verse. Not everything's gonna go my way. So I push too hard, I lean too far, thinking I can have it all. Then I stumble just a little, I end up in the middle, thinking God Almighty I didn't lose it all. I've been better, I've been worse. I can do without the doctor, but I need my nurse. My heart's beating steady, but it's in reverse. Not everything's gonna go my way. So I push too hard, I lean too far, thinking I can have it all. Then I stumble just a little and I end up in the middle, banging my head against a brand new wall. I've been better, I've been worse, got a yin-yang thing and a tie for first. I guess I ain't the center of the universe, not everything's gonna go my way. I've been worse, I text with the best but I can't converse. I got a little money, but it's in her purse. Not everything's gonna go my way.
Yeah.
Ah,
That's so good, man. I didn't know Frank was a writer on that with you.
yep.
You gotta send me some dirt on him.
I will. It's it's kind of stuck to him.
Yeah.
It's crusted on dirt now.
Well, man, before I let you go, man, so we've got some requests that have came through. We got Better Man and Like the Rain has been. And listen, like I said, I'm not gonna say no to you just doing an entire 3 hours. But
I'll go ahead and play the whole album.
you just play everything you got
go.
from Killing Time to Out of Sane. We'll just be here having drinks and listening.
Let's see. Well, I think let's go on back to the beginning. This was my first single. Came out. It took 17 weeks. It went to #1 and changed my life forever. Overnight, over 2 nights.
Can I ask you this, Clint? One thing that, and I don't think a lot of people know, but whenever an artist comes out on the format or you're your first single, and obviously a lot of things have changed. There are so many different outlets and everything going on. But how many years were you went from Katy, Texas? Did you move straight from Katy, Texas to Nashville?
Well, I grew up in Houston, and then my parents moved out to Katy, and so I was out there for a little while, and then back into Houston. I worked the Houston bars for about 10 years, and then I got my record deal, and then I toured for a while, and it was a few years after I got my record deal. I was just staying in hotels because I was always in Nashville. The bus always ended up there while we were touring, and so I just bought a house there, and that would have been around 1991, and that's the year I met my wife Lisa, and she had a house in LA. She's an actress and been working out there for years, and so we lived back and forth forever until our daughter was born, and we sold that house out there, and been here ever since, and still get down to Houston, and Texas. I think Texas is probably the second most place I'm at the most. But yeah, it's and then 10 years, kind of 10, 11 years on RCA records, and sort of cemented my career and gave me this touring life that I have. I'm an independent artist now. So just me and my little old blacktop label.
Hey. That first album spawned 4 #1s. You've had 30 Billboard hits, 22 #1s, man. It's been we just thank you for sharing your music and your talent, and I can't thank you enough for being on here with me, man, and taking the time, and tell Lisa I said thank you for letting us borrow you for a little while, and I don't know if Lily's got you on TikTok yet, but we're all waiting for the Clint Black dance.
She's
TikTok
trying
videos.
to get me to dance on TikTok.
I knew it.
If you saw me dance, you'd understand why, because most kids hate their parents when they're 19. That's why she wants me to dance.
It's not in your better interest, Clint. Don't dance.
When I dance, I do it for effect, and what I'm after is laughter, and I get it. And so I was always playing for the dancers, and if you saw me dancing, it would probably be a big hit on TikTok because people are looking for a good laugh.
Hey, you got an album coming out in 10 days. I'm just saying, you get some TikTok videos out, it's only going to help sales.
Oh man.
Well, man, take us back to album 1. And
here it is. First #1. It's something when you hear it on the radio.
It is.
What do you say when it's over? I don't know if I should say anything at all. One day we're rolling in the clover. Next thing you know, we take the fall. Still, I think about the years since I first met you, and the way it might have been without you here. I don't know if words from me can still upset you, but I've just gotta make this memory stand clear. I know I'm leaving here a better man for knowing you this way. Things I couldn't do before, now I think I can. And I'm leaving here a better man. Yes, I am. I guess I always knew I couldn't hold you, but I'd never be the one to set you free. And just like some old nursery rhyme your mama told you, and you still believe in some old meant to be. Still I'm leaving here a better man for knowing you this way. Things I couldn't do before, now I think I can. And I'm leaving here a better man. Let me hear you now. Yes, I'm leaving here a better man for knowing you this way. Things I couldn't do before, now I know I can. And I'm leaving here a better man. Let's do the ooze version. Ooh. Yes, I'm leaving here a better man.
Yeah.
I am, Michael.
Awesome,
I appreciate it. This was fun.
Man, thank you so much, buddy. We've got so many people hitting us up talking about the new record. Y'all make sure to pre-save it, download it. June 19th, 10 days from now. Out of Sane is out. You just released a lyric video for I Still Love You, America.
Yeah.
And
tell Carly we'll be thinking good thoughts for getting the next #1 next week.
I sure will, man. I appreciate it. I'll tell her. Buddy, thank you so much, man. Everybody is just going on and on, man. I can't tell you how much this meant to me for you taking the time out.
Yeah, and, thanks for asking.
Yes, sir. Well, hey, man, I can't wait to jam out to Out of Sane on June 19th, and we'll see you soon, buddy. Appreciate you.
All right, man. Take care.
Sure. See you.
Talk to you later.
Wow. Clint freaking Black just on Honky Tonk Tuesday with us. Hope y'all had as much fun as I did. We had people from Scotland, from my hometown of Eustis, from Polk County, from Webster, from all over the world watching. Hope y'all had as much fun as I did, just being a fan for a minute. And Miss Tucker, what's up? And just being able to enjoy some country music. I hope you and your families are safe and doing okay in these times. And I cannot wait to see you guys next Tuesday. Y'all be safe, and see y'all next week.